Welcome back, YouTube. Today we have something related to the Game Awards, but not exactly the Game Awards. I didn't actually want to watch the Game Awards. I heard there's a lot of issues with it. Like, they say it's rigged. Apparently, Astrobot won something Game of the Year or something like that, and it's not. And it was in competition with games like Metaphor and Wukong. So it's wild. It's wild. I've seen what Astrobot looks like. I'm sorry, but Wukong is just how did Wukong lost? Anyway, before we get started, make sure you leave. Jesus, my brain. Make sure, make sure you check out my Discord down below. You can suggest me videos, compilations, anything like that. Also, while you're down there, please consider subscribing. I'd love to hit 500 subs by the end of Christmas. And follow me on Twitch, because I stream there.
The Game Awards is always when we find out about a ton of new games. This Game Awards absolutely did not disappoint. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx is the top 20 brand new games of the Game Awards 2024. Starting off at number 20, Vikings Destiny, a survival strategy role-playing game putting you in the role of a Viking clan leader. Basically, your goal is to expand the settlement and lead everybody to prosperity. You want to help all the other Vikings
Valheim
win
in
at life.
HD.
This game's going to have a dynamic season system, and the changing weather is going to significantly impact gameplay, particularly in the survival direction. Looks like an interesting game. Vikings.
Wait, does Valheim change seasons? Or is it just different biomes? I think it's just different
Destiny
biomes.
is coming to
actually.
PC in 2025. At number 19 is Thick as
That's
Thieves, a
interesting.
co-op heist adventure where you assemble a crew of skilled criminals to pull off high-stakes robberies. They're touting an adaptive AI system, which is interesting on account now that AI mania is happening. Games are talking about their AI again. Maybe NPC AI is about to get interesting again. That would be nice. Thick as Thieves doesn't
Hopefully.
have a...
I mean, was it that Stalker has A-Life? A-Life in Stalker 1 was amazing to even think about. It was just crazy. I know that A-Life 2 in Stalker 2 is kind of iffy at the moment. They're still working on that, but hopefully they get it as good, if not better, than A-Life 1, because A-Life 1 in Stalker 1 was amazing concept. I guess it was easier to deal with because everything had less polygons and uh, less files were less storage was used for the assets, I guess.
Release date, but it's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series.
But
And number 18 is Stage Fright, an atmospheric horror game. Interesting concept. You're a theater performer. No one more haunted than those. Actually, I'm joking. They're usually some of the least haunted souls in the world. But this particular one is haunted by mysterious...
I mean, no, those are plays. I was trying to think. There's in London, there's seats that they keep open for the ghosts, but it's a stage play,
ghosties
not
during
theater.
rehearsals. But I think the claim to fame here is the fact that the game is going to integrate real-time voice recognition, and it's not going to just extend to voice commands. You're going to have to sing. Horror games often force people to overcome their fears in certain ways. This is a new one. And if you play this with other people in the house, how many people are going to play this game and be like, "Here I go again on my own, go down."
Bro, I'd rather play jump scare heaven games, man. Screw this.
On the only road I've ever known. I don't know. This is a cool concept. It doesn't have a release date, but it's coming to PC sometime in the future. And number 17 is Screamer, a racing game which is touting itself as having chaotic tracks filled with hazards and shortcuts. Of course, the idea of a game called Screamer better be speed, and it apparently is. They're introducing something they're calling the Rage Boost mechanic, which rewards aggressive driving with temporary bursts of speed, which, I mean, I get a Rage Boost when I am driving in real life. Typically doesn't mean that, but that sounds like a good mechanic. Screamer's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series in 2026. And number 6.
Bro, I can't get behind racing games anymore. I used to play it a lot when I was younger. Me and my brother used to play it on the PS1. I think it was, what was the game called? It was a rally game. Something Colin McRae or something like that. It was a PS1 game. Bro, he used to beat me all the time and I hated playing those games. But like, I think it was the only other two-player game. There was a wrestling WWF SmackDown. There was a SmackDown as well and Raw. Those were the only other multiplayer games we had. The rest were like single player, like James Bond stuff. That was fun. But yeah, racing games is like quote unquote trauma.
16 is Shadow Labyrinth, a dark fantasy RPG in which players will be exploring a sprawling labyrinth, allegedly uncovering the mysteries of a cursed realm. Oh, and it's a Pac-Man game, just so you know. It's kind of like if Pac-Man went Hollow Knight, I guess. The Amazon Secret Levels anthology episode based on Pac-Man is actually based on this game, which has been in development for 4 years. Looks completely insane, honestly, for a Pac-Man game. Also, just looks like a pretty decent...
It's actually a Pac-Man game? What the heck?
Metroidvania, honestly. I like the style of the graphics. Shadow Labyrinth is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series, and Switch 2025. And number 15 is Dave the Diver in the Jungle, the highly anticipated sequel to the hit indie game. This time, Dave trades the ocean for a lush jungle river system. I mean, it's not going to be fundamentally a different game here, but I mean, there's a lot of different stuff about jungle rivers versus the ocean. Plus, it seems like there's going to be some tree climbing as well. So, in some ways, this may be a lot more varied of a game. Dave the Diver in the Jungle is coming to PC, the PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch sometime next year. And number 14 is...
What type of game is it? Is it like a survival? Like, is it like Raft or something?
Backfrost, The Long Dark 2, the highly anticipated sequel, of course. The underlying concept obviously isn't going to change a whole lot in Backfrost. It's post-apocalyptic, it's frozen. You're going to have to manage resources and navigate harsh conditions. Obviously, a big staple is the weather and ecosystems. But now you're going to be dealing with multi-region expeditions where you're going to have to survive across interconnected maps. There's also going to be co-op gameplay and an expanded crafting system. So it looks like it's meaningfully building on the original. Backfrost is coming exclusively to PC in 2026. And number 13 is Solasta 2, the sequel to the highly acclaimed tactical RPG. Solasta obviously not abandoning the adaptation of tabletop RPG mechanics anytime soon. What they're intending to do here is make it so that there's deeper character customization. They're throwing in some new classes. But probably what sets it apart is the overhauled dungeon creation tools, making it so that
this is...
players can craft and share intricate story-driven adventures with the community, and obviously with tabletop roots.
Oh no, I guess not.
So that's the way you want to go. That's what you want to develop as you make sequels to your successful RPG.
I just saw them standing and like attacking, and I was like, "Oh, this looks like Shadow Legends."
Solasta 2 is coming to PC sometime next year.
It might be good, man, but that's...
And number 12 is Project Century, an action-adventure game coming to us from the creators of the Yakuza series. This one, however, is not set in the, well, I guess, semi-present day. It is set in 1915 Japan, and it gives us a grittier and more visceral version of the real-time Yakuza-type combat. I don't know, to me, it looks cool as hell. I like it. It looks like the intent is to explore the origins of Japanese organized crime during Japan's transition to modernity.
Bro,
we don't have a release date, but it is coming to
This actually looks way better than Yakuza games, in my opinion.
PS5, Xbox Series, and PC.
It looks more
At number 11, there is a new Virtua Fighter project, which is kind of freaking crazy. Virtua Fighter has been dead for a long time for the most part. But then Sega is starting to realize that they literally own a mountain of gold in all of their various IPs. It's been over a decade, but it's just exciting to see that they're making a Virtua Fighter game with modern enhancements. This was a trailblazer as far as 3D fighting games go. It set the tone, the pace, everything. It was pretty much this and Tekken. Like, that's how big Virtua Fighter was. I'm excited to play a new Virtua Fighter game in 2025 when it's supposed to come out. We don't know what platforms. Moving on to number 10, it's Rematch, a new football/soccer game from the creators of Sifu, which is, I mean, not what I would expect for their next
project. They made a football game, the Sifu creators. What's this going to be like? Shaolin Soccer? That's what
project. It is, however, a completely different take on soccer. Like, they're not trying to be super realistic. It's a very arcadey looking game. Honestly, I think it's really freaking cool looking.
Yeah,
it's hard to get me super excited about a soccer/football game. Not because I don't like them or anything. It's just they're usually just yearly update, roster, and minor visual change type games. This is
actually interesting. Again, my brother used to like play FIFA a lot a couple of years back. Man, that as well. Hey, it's not my fault. The guy was like on FIFA always. He's a FIFA player, always buys FIFA, like every year. He was one of those, you know. He only played FIFA. That's all he did on his off time.
It looks completely different. I'm so excited for this. I'm definitely going to play it.
I kind of wish he was like a COD kid, because that would have been perfect.
But it is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC sometime next year. And number 9 is Turok Origins, reimagining of the Dinosaur Hunter. It's a prequel. It explores the origins of Turok, which is, I always think it's really funny when the prequel is like way better looking than the original. But it does look like they're incorporating survival elements, crafting tools, setting traps, etc. I don't know how far they're going to drift exactly from the gameplay of the original. Turok it's a different beast, let's say. Bit of a standout in more than one way. I'm interested to see how this one goes. It's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series sometime. We don't have a release date. And number 8 is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Okay, I don't like this style.
Like,
I don't mind this, but like the lights thing, I don't know why, but like when I see like monster hunting type dinosaur like era stuff, and then I see tech within it, and I'm like, what's the point?
I'm interested to see how this one goes.
Like, I hate this style. Like, have like a primitive thing, but I guess it's like gonna be like a setting of like alien worlds and they're traveling on a spaceship and stuff like that. But like, I hate this type of games.
PC, PS5, and Xbox.
Like, I loved Far Cry Primal. It was primitive. The characters were primitive as well.
Xbox Series sometime. We don't have a release date. And number 8 is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Come on, man. We've been wanting a Ninja Gaiden for a while. Now, Ragebound, of course, referring to the fact that they are leaning in to the high-speed combat. They are reimagining it, wanting to blend something classic with something modern. Obviously, that is sometimes a great idea and sometimes not the best. I'm guessing, based on this trailer, they know what they're doing. I like the idea. Ragebound is referring to the fact that you can build up rage through combat, which unlocks big ol' cinematic techniques and makes it look even that much more insane. Like, Ninja Gaiden is a traditionally pretty insane game. I'm excited. This is coming to PC, the PlayStation's Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch later in 2025. And number 7 is Gen Design, a fairly mysterious project coming to us from the creators of Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian. We don't know the name of the game. Gen Design's the name of the developer. I mean, at once, this trailer looks very familiar and completely unfamiliar. It shows an adventurer climbing up a robot and then blasting off with its head to escape some insane storm, and maybe does, but kind of doesn't. I don't know. It was really cool. That's all we know about it right now. But yes, absolutely, 100%. We don't have a release date or platforms or anything. We just have.
What the heck? That is weird. So like, you build the head to be able to like fly off like this, but you built the neck so it doesn't actually detach properly. This is so
or
dumb.
anything. We just have this
Whoever
trailer, and it's a good trailer.
whoever made that is like dumb as bricks, man.
At
What the
least
heck?
if you know what Shadow of the Colossus
It's like making an ejector seat for fucking helicopters,
and
man.
Last Guardian are. I imagine if you didn't know what they are, you'd just be confused. But I think very familiar and yet very new looking. And number 6 is Dispatch, a narrative-driven game where you play as an emergency dispatcher. You make critical decisions that will either save or not save people's lives. It's an interesting looking game. Definitely something different. Like at once it feels kind of like a Telltale game combined with a management sim of some kind, but doesn't really look like either of those things, visually speaking. I'm super interested in where this one goes.
Captain America. Instead of America.
It's coming to PC sometime next year. And number 5 is Onimusha, Way of the Sword. I swear, it's basically like, we didn't have that great of a 2024, guys. Let's announce a bunch of stuff that you guys want for the next 2 years. Stay involved, guys. It's about to get good. I mean, I don't really know what to say about this other than it's going to be an Onimusha game with modern graphics and mechanics. It looks like they want some timing and technique type stuff real integrated here. So a little bit of Souls influence, but I have a feeling that it's going to be, Onimusha.
Oh man, I think the better the graphics get. I used to be a graphics like nutcase. It's like it's all about the visuals. Visuals is all is everything, including in like when I'm watching anime stuff like that. If I don't like the visuals, I don't watch it. But the more like realistic games get, the more I'm like, I probably just want a stylized game instead of a realistic game.
Onimusha is a pretty distinct game. That's why everybody wants more of it, and they're going to get it in 2026 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. And number 4 is Split Fiction, a narrative-driven action-adventure game set in parallel dimensions where you're going to be alternating between 2 versions of the protagonist, each frankly with different abilities and story arcs. Still the same person, of course. The whole idea is this split reality thing that's going to involve interlocking dimensions where like puzzles and events take place across multiple dimensions and affect each other. I don't know, it looks interesting. Split Fiction is also the first game we're talking about today that has a release date. It's coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series March 6, 2025. And number 3 is an Okami sequel, as if Onimusha.
For some reason, there's always got to be like a two-player game. What's that? The one where like the parents are like turned into the toys. The 2 Italian dudes. Forgot what it's called. Yeah, there's always seems to
and
be like
Ninja Gaiden weren't enough. We're getting a new freaking Okami game. A lot of information on this is under wraps. We just know it's coming at this point. But mythological storytelling, beautiful cel-shaded art, and intricate ways of interacting with the environment wrapped up into a heartfelt and mystical story. I'm all here for it. How could you not want more of this? Well, maybe you never played the original. It was a while ago, but man, was it a good game. I'm excited for an Okami sequel, let me tell you. And number 2 is Elden Ring Night Rain. Let me tell you, missed opportunity to use the Guns N' Roses song Night Train. Basically sounds like the same word. Would have been a high-octane trailer, especially for a roguelike, which is what this is. Essentially a multiplayer roguelike set in an alternate version of the Lands Between, introducing an eclipse cycle, which is going to change enemy behavior, environmental hazards.
Yeah, I saw all of this. I saw Asmongold react to it. It looks really cool. It just makes sense. Is it like a DLC again, or like a separate
quest
thing?
lines? And it looks like a pretty interesting game to me. It's an expansion, obviously, on the original. I assume it's going to use a lot of the original's assets, but it's definitely a new twist on it, and I'm excited for that. It's coming next year to the PC, the PlayStations, and the Xboxes, so stay tuned for more info on that. And finally,
that's a cool like mechanic. Cerberus like with 3 heads like splitting into like 3 dogs. That's cool.
And finally, at number 1, a brand new game / IP from Naughty Dog, a new sci-fi RPG called Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Sounds pretty awesome, honestly. There's a big old interstellar theocracy, not always a good thing. Often bad, often bad. You're gonna set that right though, or at least set it different, I guess. Sounds like a lot of moral ambiguity type stuff going on here.
Oh, this one. this one, people hate the main character.
You're a renegade prophet, and they're dropping you into this big player-driven narrative type thing. You are going to be the spark that lights the fire, so to speak. You're going to cause some rebellion, my man. It's a big old galactic oppressive institution that you fight against story. Let's go, right? It's Naughty Dog. We don't have any kind of a release date, but it is a PS5 exclusive. I'm excited for it. Can't wait to hear more. I have a few bonus games for you. Kiora, an exploration adventure.
Wasn't for me, like I said before, the more realistic it looks, I'm like, oh, stop.
Adventure game where you're exploring this hand-painted world, unraveling the mysteries of an ancient civilization.
Yo, this looks cool. I'm down.
Looks heavy on environmental storytelling. Coming out to PC. Don't have a date for that. Next is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, a cross-platform, cross-dimensional Sonic racer coming to pretty much everything,
like Mario Kart.
But we don't know exactly when. And Game of Thrones King's Road, a narrative-driven strategy game set in where else? Westeros, where you'll be focusing on building alliances and subverting political intrigue in order to gain control of the Iron Throne. This one we don't know when, but it is coming in 2025.
Cool.
To what platforms, I am not sure. However, it does look pretty cool. I don't know. The Game Awards definitely.
Okay, like I said before, I did say that the more realistic it looks, but I like medieval stuff. Let's just say, I think it's just like future tech stuff that I'm like, gross. That looks. I don't like it. But yeah, man, I'll probably watch someone. I can't run this. I definitely cannot run this. This is gonna blow up my my 1050. But I'll definitely watch someone play this for the story.
A stacked presentation. I think pretty awesome. Slate of new stuff on the way. What do you think, though? Leave us a comment. Let us know. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe.
Yeah, not bad. There's some big reveals, I guess. The Elden Ring thing was a huge reveal. Some of the other series, I'm like, I don't really know. Oh, this rematch looks fun as heck. And Backfrost. I think rematch and Backfrost is probably definitely on my list. Those two look amazing. Anyway, we'll leave it off there. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, check out my Discord, and follow me on Twitch. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.